Cool. All right, boys. We had to restart there, but that's okay. CBSI presents Tales from Flipside. We are on 51. We are going weekly, so every week we're gonna have a new podcast. Hopefully, I'm Dino. Forgotten Five Comics. Boys, introduce yourselves.
Pete Ups here. We're going to be showing off our variant comics later. Brought to you this week with my variant voice, courtesy of my coworker, Typhoid Tracy.
It's funny. Scotty.
He's missing.
Scott's mute. Scott on mute again?
It's all good. I don't know.
Roll with it.
What's up, guys?
Next.
That's Scott Reagan, Forgotten Five Comics.
What's up, guys? Brian Wood, Superman's Comics. Just happy to be here.
What's up, guys? Brian McClay. Looking forward to sharing my Crow foreign variants tonight.
Like a mind reader.
Wow, psychic. We share a mind and a collection. So awesome. This is John Z. Just in awe of Brian McClay and his wit. So awesome.
And I'll bring up the rear. It's Ben S. I made the start of a show, and now we're baby steps, right?
The S stands for swoosh.
Swoosh.
Can you hear me now?
You're now 1,000 points in front of.
Yeah.
All right. So I am Scott from Forgotten Five Comics, and for the third time, I'm upset that my Eagles lost.
Yes.
We actually just keep reshooting this, so you have to say that.
Yeah. Hey, at least it wasn't bad as Cody Parkley and then Goose Island making that Cody Parkley kick in the parking lot of the Goose Island factory, and everybody missed it. So it's like, yeah. Do you guys hear about that? It's crazy.
Yeah, when you have to win with a double doink missed field goal, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off because I was watching the Philadelphia Flyers game where Gritty was making fun of it.
God.
That was hilarious, man.
Dude, Gritty, that's like the first week me and I went to Philly with last year with Scotty. And we were talking about because Gritty just got announced, isn't it, Scotty? Like, it was like one of the few like weeks after Gritty got announced, and you're like, I'm not buying Flyer tickets ever.
I did.
Dude, he's turning into one of the best mascots ever. Like, he's
yeah.
totally redeeming himself.
But here's the thing: you don't need a mascot for a hockey team.
No, you're right.
It's a hockey game. It's not a goddamn circus.
You need cheerleaders.
No.
Well, no, it is a goddamn circus, especially in Broad Street.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like, for me, like I've been a Flyers season ticket holder since 2010. This was the first year that I stopped because it literally, like, during intermissions, they had a guy called DJ Reed Street playing club music. Like, literally club music during the game. I'm like, this is just too much. Like, and you know what the funny thing is? Like, when I told my ticket rep that I wasn't getting tickets, he's like, oh, but we're making all these additions to the mezzanine. I'm like, dude, I picked my seats so I can get out of the building faster.
This guy hates everybody.
I'm all about the game. Like, if you can't put a product on the ice that I want to watch, then I'm not paying.
You're about not social. Like, I don't want more social interaction. I want less.
No, I literally like had like the perfect seats in the stadium. Like, I was one section off the escalator, right in the row. Like, I was in and out of that stadium. But that's not here nor there.
So I'm thinking, boys, since I messed up the YouTube earlier, we should do it again because I keep doing it, redoing it because I got the new subscriber. So I just hit everybody with a random, just like 20 or 30 time repost. I'll screen subscribers that way.
So wait, we got to redo it again?
No, I was joking. We keep reposting the same stuff, the same intro over and over again.
Yeah,
okay, boys.
The Eagles still lost.
Yeah.
Maybe if we do it a couple more times, maybe the results will change.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, boys. So what we're gonna do is, since we're doing it weekly, we're trying to make a more standardized, I guess you would call, outline. So I think we're gonna do pickups first, and I think Z's gonna go because he had a great run going. So
let's see if we can repeat this and go again.
I want it verbatim how you said it before because it's perfect.
I don't remember, so we're just gonna shoot this. So first off, I think I talked about this last show, but I just wanted to show him off and thank our boy Inigo from the European side of the ocean. He hooked me up, and I still only have 3 of the 4. I do not know where issue 4 is right now. It must be upstairs, of the Spanish edition of the Crow. It was the last of the sets that I needed of the 4 known foreign variant floppy sets out there. So awesome. And as far as I know, I am the first person in the foreign collecting world to have all of the full sets of the 4 main foreign versions and the US version. Now I'm slowly slipping my way through the trade paperback and hardcover reprintings of it. So he also hooked me up with the German edition of that. God knows why the Germans didn't do a soft cover, but they didn't. So
they wanted quality, man.
Yeah, they wanted the whole story. They did not want to wait. So
Screw the Crow, man. You need some Rooster books.
Some Rooster. So, you had mentioned before that the Image the Crow one's on issue 3 on this one. I had kind of said before, there's no rhyme or reason. They seem to just do different order, different editions, the U.S. versions. Like I said, U.S. 1 to 4 is not complete. It runs across a couple different books between Caliber Presents 1, Crow 1 to 4, Caliber Presents Christmas, and then issue 5 had a preview in Caliber Presents 15, but issue 5 was never printed completely till the trade paperback. So it's a bit of a mess. I've seen foreign editions with 1 to 4, 0 to 4, and 1 to 6. So they all print them different. You all get different cover art on some of them. It does seem to be the same 6 main images, but they're in all kinds of different order. For those of you that heard it the first time, I did mention that I think the best of the group is this one. I went and ran my butt upstairs in that 2 minutes and grabbed the Greek edition.
Yes, us Greek people doing something right finally.
Yeah, the Papas people, had some thing. It's just that the art is blown up huge. It's colored a little different. The Greek writing is outstanding, and it's by Metal Comics. So what are you gonna do?
There's baklava stains on it.
Yeah.
Bunch of honey, dude.
Euro.
Fucking Euro.
The JO bar in blue looks good too.
Yeah, I had said before that if you collect foreigns and you're buying them from foreign countries, just be prepared. Like the worst U.S. shipper is probably as good as you're going to get in foreign countries. Somebody on the foreign collector board said it best: "Is I am not sure there's a piece of cardboard in all of Italy. Just you're going to get in a floppy envelope every time."
Wait, there's a foreign collector board?
There's a Facebook group, foreign collector. Hold on, I'll make sure I say the name right for anybody in it. Some of those guys have been awesome. And it is the main group is Foreign Comic Collector Magazine official group on Facebook. There's a website. There's some chat boards tied to it. They're on a couple other venues, but that's the main group. Great guys. If you need some information, they are willing to share, help, and kind of grow that market, which is a bit of a niche, but.
Is your boy from CBCS down there?
Yeah. Tim from CBCS is there. He's one of their graders that does the foreign. So yeah,
nice.
I don't know that you're gonna find a more knowledgeable group of people on that niche, and there's stuff that just blows your mind. So
those are the best boards to be on.
Yeah, it's a fun little subgroup of this hobby that I know not everybody cares about, but I think it's pretty fun. He threw in a little bonus book for me that I've been slowly collecting ASM 300s. Scotty would like this one. This is an ASM 300 reprint from Germany. Probably the only one that exists that is not using the classic cover. So only the Germans could ruin that cover, as Nigo says.
Well, I like that he's got the black suit on though.
And I like the gun, dude. I like the gun in the background, man.
It's different, but
that's cool.
That's fun.
You're like the Rosetta Stone of comics.
It is funny. I know like 2% of the foreign market, but I just am the only guy talking nonsense about it on a YouTube podcast that 7 people listen to. So
hey, we're up to 20 now, man. We are at 20.
So by default, I'm like the biggest, person that knows nothing in the room. So that's me. I have one other pickup, which was from my LCS of all places. This is a book that I've wanted for years and years, and I kept passing it up, thinking I can get it again, and it just keeps rising on me. Picked up the Death of Superman 35 Platinum Edition.
What'd that run you?
I scored it for 70, which was amazing.
What's that? What's usual going price for that? 100?
I don't know. eBay's flipped around 150, 200.
Wow.
So it's been going up. Everybody asks, "Are you going to grade it?" I'm like, no, I just want it in the bag. To me,
I don't think
it's that.
I don't think it's worth it. You can't tell really.
Oh no! Unless you're getting a 9.8 or 9.6, 9.8, there's some premium for it. But I don't want that image. I want the silver.
Yeah.
Put it in a comic skin.
Because you know what? To be honest, the cover isn't that great. I don't.
No, it's
I don't
terrible.
like it. Yeah.
Dr. Joe says again, open it so we can see it. that's gonna be the running gag there, I think. Just open it so I can see.
Well, you could never even looking at him on a slab. It's just a slightly different tint to the writing. I'm like, that's lame. I want the bag with the silver blood. That's what I want.
Yeah, it's cool. It's this platinum edition on the bottom.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Our man Devo says they're individually numbered. I'm not going to open it to find out.
I think they're to 10,000, right?
I've heard 5. I've heard 10.
Well, you can open it and find out.
Yeah, you can open it.
Right now. Why don't you guys order a box of them? We'll open them all.
Okay. I will. I don't care.
All your questions could be answered.
I'll go next here. I only got one book. I bought it I think last week maybe. I don't know. Me and Z were talking about it. It's a cool book. Okay, so I think it's Fantastic 48's out of reach for me. I mean, theoretically, unless I see some kind of crazy deal. So I picked up like the other coolest Silver Surfer book I could find with Galactus on it. So this is Silver Surfer from Fireside. It's a magazine.
That's
I guess.
badass.
It's like 80 pounds right now. So it has Silver Surfer on the back too.
I like the back artwork too.
Yeah, the back cover came cool.
Holy shnikes.
What? The thickness?
I've never seen a slab like that.
Yeah, brother. I don't know how they got it in there, man. I mean, it's using all the well
you
can use.
You should duel against a PGX and see who
Dude,
wins.
I bet you I could hit somebody with this and knock him out.
Oh my goodness, that is a beast.
So it's hard to find.
It looks good.
Yeah, dude. It's there's like one little I don't know how I tried to show Scotty. There's like a little like nick on here, kind of.
Yeah, those corners are tough.
Yeah,
the square bounds are real tough.
Yeah, I mean, and there's not too. I mean, me and Z were kind of talking about it. Not too many 9.8s. Not too many 9.6s. I'm trying to get you clear out the way. This actually, for people who don't know this is Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's last book they did together. Is from 1978. So
is it original stories?
Crack it open and find out right now.
Open it up.
So it's and it's funny. It says first appearance of Masha Gaia and first appearance and death of Ardina. So
yeah,
I do believe this is an original story. It was when they were kind of foraying into the original graphic novel stuff.
Yeah, come on, bro. It's the ultimate cosmic experience. I mean,
there's a really cool, and you guys might know this. There's a really cool run of Galactus stories in the magazine. What's the magazine with the first appearance of Star-Lord?
Marvel Spotlight?
Marvel
Preview.
No, maybe it's Epic magazine or something like that.
No, that's
what's
Darth.
Whichever one is the first appearance of
Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord. Yeah, I know it. I think it's
that's Marvel Premiere.
It's Spotlight, right?
Yeah, that Spotlight.
Epic magazine is what it's called, I think.
No, Epic magazine is for
Zeta.
No.
Well, didn't he do the first cover? The
Marvel
first
Preview 7 is first Rocket Raccoon.
Okay, I'm thinking of something different then. It's Epic magazine that has the Galactus backstories.
Yeah, but it also is the
Epic Illustrated. He said
the Space Odyssey story. I can't think. God darn.
Yeah. I know who you're talking. I know you're talking about.
My brain is frozen on it, but yeah.
But it is epic. Like it's like called the Last Galactus story or something like that. And I can't remember if Kirby did that, but those are pretty cool. I tried to find those, and it'd be interesting to see if they put that in a trade. But
some of those covers are sweet too. If you just Google Epic Illustrated Comic.
The reason that's so cool also is because it's original stories and it's got first appearances in it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it's a square bound. So we all know square bounds when it comes to like giant size X-Men, right? That's obviously the biggest square bound that has a lot of problems and stuff like that. A lot of people in the chat are saying they've never seen this before. I've honestly never seen this before. I got this for, I would say, a pretty decent deal. I just like the cover, and that since 48's kind of out of control, I was like, at least this one has Galactus on it and Silver Surfer like on the cover. So I thought, man, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just cool to me, you know. I don't know.
Oh, that's sweet, man. That's a good one.
So this might be the one. Is I might not sell this. So
Oh,
Me.
Dino starts a PC on episode
Yeah,
51.
okay.
I'll put that
Somebody
in the
offers you twice what you pay for it, it'll be gone.
Well, I mean, that's I mean,
You got to pay for 2 cats now, man.
I know I got I might get
Possibly
3.
a third.
Vastly a third kid. Look,
Don't-
look at this guy. Look at this. Oh, am I? I'm on. Oh yeah, look at this guy over here. He's like, he doesn't even pay any bills. He sleeps around all day.
So Z, the guy you're thinking of is Dreadstar, right?
Dreadstar, thank you.
No, all Dreadstar.
Good lord, I couldn't think of that.
Okay, so that was my one and only pickup. I know Scotty's gonna go next.
I got a few.
My man's baking the brink. I like it. It's
got
all about
a
the
few.
bank.
They bought a couple books off of Ricardo Gomez, a fellow CBSI member. Got these 2 Campbell autographs.
Oh,
Those are
those
badass.
are nice.
Oh, dope.
You know what? I really do like Campbell's artwork, but I'm just not into the tits too much. You know, I don't get me wrong. I am. I'll tell you what. Here, I'll show you that I am into boobs and stuff. You see, I am into it. But for me, like, these are going to be sold. The other ones are going to be kept. I like the way he draws Spider-Man. So I got those 2 other four Campbells. This one, just whatever it is. Green Lantern 20. Some people say it's the first Jessica Cruz. Some people say it's not. But
The hand.
we'll let the market decide. 2 more I got. These are books that I've been picking up whenever I can.
Very
Nice.
nice.
Planet Comics and Space Vixens. This one's pretty cool. Actually,
I love yellow covers too.
Does it have the 3D glasses?
yeah, it's got the 3D glasses. And
Oh.
here's what the front cover's all right. The back cover is amazing on this. I really think they should have put that on the front.
Dave
is a front-
Stevens.
That is a front
most-
cover.
What?
That is a front
Oh.
cover.
Yeah.
That back cover is a front cover.
Oh, for something else?
Yes, for I can't remember which issue, but it is.
And it does have the 3D glasses. It's pretty cool.
Dave
That's
Stevens
dope.
is probably the most underrated artist in all of comics.
Yeah, I love his pinup stuff. I mean, I didn't really know much about him until Coy was talking about him.
Hey, I like your backboard, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, until Coy started pimping him, he was really underrated.
Yeah.
So I got a quick story about Dave Stevens. I went to a garage sale and they had a bunch of books, and I'm just going through them, and I found a couple of the Star Slayer, the first appearance of Rocketeer, and they bought them for like $1 and took them home. They were all signed by Dave Stevens on the inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And then my final pickup, keeping with the theme of Dave Stevens.
Oh, 9.8. Those are
That's
tough.
beautiful.
You're keeping
I-
that, right?
Oh yeah, I got this off another an OG member, Andrew Cuevas.
Oh, Cuevas.
Nice.
Yeah, it was funny. I saw it. I've been looking for a 9.8 for a while, and saw it pop up on eBay, and then I saw the name and where he was. I was like, holy shit, I think that's AC. So I hit him up, and
I'm trying to get a book out of AC for the last months. We can't make a deal.
well, I was able to make a deal with him.
He likes you better.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, money talks. I mean, I made him an offer he couldn't refuse, and
Well,
now I have
I like it.
a grill.
Very nice.
Only 32 in the census, so doesn't look like a 9.8 to me, but I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, those
Oh,
are tough books, though, man. Those are always tore up.
This is what I don't like. There's just a little bit of dirt on the back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how that got past quality control,
It's
but whatever. I'm not going to complain.
a
a 9.8.
it was a Baltimore book.
I'm pretty sure Koi Cakes has the other 31 of them, man.
Yeah. But I mean, I've been buying the raws whenever I see them because they're not easy to get.
What are Raws going for roughly? $50, $100?
It depends. I mean, higher grade, they can go up to 100. Mid
That's
grade,
not bad.
40, 50.
That's not bad buying.
Here's the question. That to me, those books are like the Charlton Blue Beetle and stuff used to be. It's not that they're not there; it's that nobody's bringing them to shows.
Yeah.
That's the
I mean,
same with
I saw-
Captain Adam.
I saw one of them in Baltimore, and I bought it.
So I'm not saying it's not rare because it could just all be in the trash, like gone.
Yeah.
But you just can't find them anywhere to buy them. That's for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Stein put a link on the side for that back cover as a front cover for Vanguard Illustrated.
Vanguard, okay.
That's cool.
Oh, nice.
I
So I
picked
guess,
one of those up.
I guess they didn't have anything for the back, and they're like, "Oh, let's just throw this on there."
I was not aware. I didn't know that cover or that was on the back of that one. I had no idea.
I'll put a link to that picture in the YouTube chat.
Oh,
That is
dude.
actually one of my favorites there.
So I can go next, real quick. I have a couple of books that I finally got in the mail that, well, one of them, this is just a nice pickup. I think that these are super underrated. More Dave Stevens gorgeousness. The Elvira House of Mystery are super underrated books, super hard to find in good grade, especially these black covers. And I picked up a 9.6 in this.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I
Sweet.
think that's one of my all-time favorite covers. Obviously, I think Cho really used this as something to do the Harley Quinn one. the
Yeah, I was gonna
Halloween one.
say
Yeah,
that pair nice together.
yeah. Is it backwards? Am I backwards?
No,
No,
you're
no,
good.
you're
Nope.
good.
You're
You're
okay, good.
Backwards to you.
All right. So, and these other three. So, there's a local guy here in Phoenix that works with CBCS, and he does like the autographs of all the big cats, the J. Scott Campbells and stuff. And so, a couple books about it's been close to a year. No, maybe close to a year from this book. Yeah, March of 2018, but I finally got it. It's the Lady Death 300 variant signed by Brian Pulido and Murat Michaels. Just a beautiful book. Obviously, the 300 homage is really picked up nowadays, but it's numbered to 250, which is cool. And I love this when you see the numbered on the front there. Let's see here.
Oh,
You can't really see it because it's not focusing on it, but it is numbered on the front, which is cool. This is kind of a bummer. It really bummed me out, but he redeemed himself in the next book. So I bought this book off him to get signed, and he said it was like a high 9 easy, but it got manhandled during the process, and it came back in 8.5. But it's the Matina Virgin variant signed by Matina.
Oh, that's cool.
And it came back in 8.5, so that was kind of a bummer. But this book really made me happy. I put a 9.6 up on eBay as part of the Gretzky Quest. That's I keep getting shit for not saying my eBay store. It's called Collecting Days, DAZE. So if you guys, this will be going up there soon. So there'll be a 9.6 CGC up there and a 9.8 Matina signed variant.
Nice.
You're gonna sell that?
Yeah, I think I am. I think the Gretzky might be more important than this. So
Come on, Paul, jump on that, bud.
I know, man. You send me a message before
Right?
you eBay that. No, for real. That's
All
pretty
right.
covered.
yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous, and there's very few that.
Before Mel steals it.
Yeah, right.
Sell them for 2 times as much to Paul. Then we have a Paul problem.
and the guys, I don't want to jinx it yet, but I will kind of mention it. Hopefully, if it pans out, it's looking like it might be happening. But I got a big book on the way, and for people that are tuning in, it's definitely something. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't think I was going to get it, but I think there's a good chance it's going to happen. But I got a big book coming, so keep your eye out now that we're doing weekly shows. So
Yeah, keep it a surprise. Sweet.
yeah,
Awesome.
Anybody else got some heat?
I got some sparks.
Okay, well, you usually go next. Let's see what you got, buddy.
All right. Well, I picked this up for Dino at my LCS for $1. I figured he had to have that, so I got that for Dino.
If Mike actually goes to a national, dude, I'm getting that signed by him.
Before I show my books, though, we covered our best pickups of 2018 last show, and I wanted to show. I forgot to give a shout out to Dan Piercy for the Paul's Problems coaster.
Oh,
But
nice.
also-
They came out.
Yeah, we made some Tales from the Flipside coasters as well.
Did you get them from the same lady?
I did, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Yeah,
turned
they
my
came
other
out
monitor off for glare, but and then also we made some CBSI coasters, which are still for sale. If you're interested, let me know. But anyway, on to the pickups. I don't know if I showed this off or not. This is an older pickup, but still somewhat recent. Is Batman and Robin Adventures. I got that in a 9.8. I almost purchased it for high dollar, and then I won it in an auction for a good price. And shout out to Brian Wood. Picked up the Johnny Quest 9.8 and the CBCS, and I think it came all the way from Japan or something weird, but it arrived and it's safe.
That was a Paul's problem that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's
Go
always
from
potential,
Japan.
you know.
A near miss.
And these are 9.6s, but I picked it up on a few shows ago. I bought these. I don't know if the glare will let me show both of them or not, but I'm just gonna do one at a time. So this is the Batman and Robin Adventures 25 and the 9.6. I just like the cover, and I can't remember how many 9.8s and 9.6s there are, but not many at all.
I
I love how
almost,
they
I
did the
almost
head variants of that all month, right? For every book that came out that month, they had the head variants.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A low enough number of 9.6s versus 9.8s that I justified getting the 9.6s and the Batman.
the OA for that cover was up maybe 4 to 6 months ago, and I eyed it hard, and
Dang.
I passed. I looked at
I mean,
it.
it's all black. I mean, the purples are nice, so I had to pick that one up. It was available, and then Batman Gotham Adventures #2 with
That's cool,
with
man. That's
Two-Face
dope.
on there.
That's sweet.
So I picked those two up from the same seller, and so those came in. I don't know what I'll have weekly, but I'll try and get something up. But
We're all just
I got
gonna
for
buy a
now.
bunch of stuff, man. We're gonna buy a bunch of stuff weekly. It's gonna be
I
crazy.
know.
Maybe we should start a Patreon.
So that's all I got.
Okay. Anybody else? Stein?
Yeah, I got a few.
Oh man, here we go. I love the She Stein stuff. This ought to be great.
Yeah, well, these are just some random pickups, and I pick up the weirdest stuff. But I did find this week, and I've actually this is the first time I found it is that Hellboy, the first the Red Queen or Blood Queen or whatever it is.
Yeah, Blake Queen. Yep.
Yeah, the villain in the first one. Anyways, I found that this week. Actually the first time I found it. I found this. I didn't realize that this has basically disappeared off of eBay, but that 601,
Oh yeah,
Garner.
the Garner.
Yep.
It's just gone. It's like disappeared off of eBay for some reason. But
You know what's funny is Garner variants. They just go, man. It's weird. Sometimes they're like plentiful, and then other times they're just gone. And Garner does good stuff. And would you say he's kind of underrated? Like it's not like people. I don't think people are having Garner collections, right? I mean,
right.
I just think he had a really good run on that Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's perfect. I found this. Brian Wood will really appreciate this. It's a Paul Green. It's the Django Fett.
Yeah.
It's not the Boba Fett, but this one's the San Diego
Booby
Comic
Fett?
Con. Yeah, this one's the San Diego Comic Con one.
Give me some Paul Green.
Yeah. And then I picked this up, and everybody's probably completely done with the digital copies, but this is a digital copy that I did not have, and
Nice.
I like that. It's actually I still think that might be this or number 5. I still can't believe that nobody's actually decided on what is the first Court of Owls.
I
think you just get 3, 4, 5, and 6, and just
It's so bizarre, and like I remember a long time ago there was like all kinds of discussion, but like nobody still has ever decided, and I'm like, that's at some point somebody's got to decide what the
3 is first Talon, right?
2 is first Talon, I think.
It's amazing. It's amazing how cheap some of those books in that run have gotten. I mean, and that run to me is going to be like the Alan Moore run for Swamp Thing.
It's going to be iconic.
Yeah, one of these days that thing's just going to shoot up, especially in high grade.
I'm buying number ones because they're cheap as dirt right now.
Yeah, I'll buy those combo variants anytime I see them because like you said, they're rare. They're rare.
Yeah, and that was like one of the last one. I think I'm only missing 2 combos for the entire combo set.
Wow.
Did they start at number 5?
I think there was 3 or 4. Was one of the
yeah,
first,
I think there might have been a 4. I can't remember. I have to go back through, but
I'm pretty sure there was a 4. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is the last one, and you guys can laugh at me or don't laugh at me. But it's the guy who does the the cartooning for Playboy magazine, which I wasn't aware of. He's actually done a few comic covers.
Sergio Aragnosis or whatever.
No, Dean Yeagle. Yeah, so this was. I just found it. Dino actually went to this store down in Cincinnati, and this guy's got a billion of these things. But it's so it's like a Wizard of Oz type thing or whatever. But yeah. So, anyways, so I got that. I thought it was pretty interesting.
So what's the book called again? Sorry.
I don't know. It's I guess I probably should have said all of those. I didn't say anything about any of them. This is Oz #3.
Stein, you were talking about Court of Owls, and I just pulled off my shelf Batman the 75th Anniversary Commemorative Collection, and I have never read Court of Owls, but it has these 3 trades in it, and it's Hush, The Dark Knight Returns, and then the third one is the Court of Owls.
I think that's a good order right there.
Yeah, of Batman stories to read.
Oh yeah, you've got to read the Court of Owls. It's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah, it really is. I mean,
because we're talking about it being a sleeper and all that.
I mean, yeah, I think Court of Owls is the biggest sleeper, but that whole run of Snyder and Capullo is amazing. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, Court of Owls, Night of Owls, Death of the Family.
Zero, right?
The 0 was a bit strange, but
it is.
But 1 through 20, whatever. Yeah, 1 through 20. Yeah, it's a definite must read.
Wait! You talk about Bubba Gun. Wait till we got top 5 variants. You're gonna blow your mind on this one.
Yeah, I know. We spent a good amount of time on pickups. Anybody have anything else?
What, did you pick up anything? No.
I got an exclusive clause with Simple Man's Comics for my pickup.
Hey, do it up, bro.
No, I don't really pick too much. I'm a huge Garbage Pail Kids fan.
Yep.
And Mark Pingator is a former Garbage Pail Kids artist, has magic marker art, and I bought these magnets.
Those things are so cool.
Those are dope, man.
I'm gonna rip it open real quick because I don't plan on
open it up. We want to see it.
Yeah.
It's a box break.
Where's the YouTube chat with open?
That Iron Man on the wall is huge, by the way.
Well, this is my fat head, and then that's my other fat head.
How big is that?
Big. I mean, it takes up half my wall.
That's
so
awesome,
real quick, so we got Adam and Evil.
Nice.
That's cool.
And then we got Beast Manual, Spiky Mikey, Hissy Fit Kit,
That's cool.
Commandin' Brandon,
That's awesome.
That one was sweet.
Storm and Norman,
Oh, that one. Yeah, Joe, Storm Shadow. That was dope.
and Hellraiser,
Oh, that's cool.
and then Axe and Jackson.
Action Jackson, brother. I like
So they're just like Garbage Pail Kids. Magic Marker Art has them. The guy actually has a Marvel series he's getting ready to launch. I think pre-orders start like next week, so I'll probably order a box of those. But one other thing, 80s kid here. So I got this awesome
Oh, that's
Pity the
hilarious.
Fool.
Mr. T and T Force, Neil Adams goodness. So I think
That's
That's
sweet.
awesome, dude.
that's pretty much all I've gotten in the past week and a half.
That's cool. I like that stuff. You know what's funny? The best part about this is at least we can see everybody's kind of style when it comes to pickups. So, and people can see it on the YouTube chat now. So, that's good.
I got no style.
Is that it for the pickups?
That's it for the pickups, brother.
So what's up with this Matina scandal stuff?
Oh man, have you guys seen any of this?
I don't know if I want to talk about it. It's just talking about the Gamora 2 cover.
Oh God,
It's wild, man. It basically Matina's being accused of stealing artwork.
I think it goes farther than being accused. It's too obvious.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, he was accused a year ago.
so we send a link out so people can
Yeah,
read it.
send the link out. There's a Bleeding Cool article, and literally, like, it gets to the point of like what's the difference between stealing and like a homage and swipe.
So who's he? I don't know anything about this, so I get to ask all the dumb questions. So
Shocking.
Who is Matina? Who is Francisco Matina?
Yeah, how is Matina spelled?
What's an homage?
Is it so? Who's he doing these for? Is it a store variant or is it?
Well, some of them are store
release?
variants. Some of them are DC variants.
Fan
If you
Expo
look at-
variants.
If you look in the outline, I put pictures in, so like you could see the original on the left, and then you could see Matina's cover on the right. The first one he stole from Lee Ji Hyung.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Look at this
Allegedly.
picture though, like it's the same exact pose. Like he literally it looks like he just traced the outline and then added details in.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I got a question. Like, obviously, we've always seen homage covers and swipe covers, and it's never been a big deal. Do you think that he's getting in trouble because he hasn't like said after this guy or given original credit to the actual artist?
Exactly, 100% in my opinion. If you're not at this point, it's become the norm to say after the original artist. I mean, back in the days and probably in like the 90s, they didn't do that as much just because. But it was so obvious that they were doing an homage to that artist that they didn't have to. But nowadays, if you're not putting after in the original artist, you're just
especially when it's this blatant, like, and it's not just one artist he's doing it. He did the Lee Ji Hyung, Ian McDonald. I mean that Phoenix, that Dark Phoenix cover. I mean,
the venomized Phoenix.
That Judge Dredd, my jaw dropped.
Yeah, Judge Dredd is ridiculous.
So does Matina do paintings or computer art?
It's paintings, right?
I think he does.
I thought
he draw. Yeah.
But it's so obvious
but
with
here's a
the
question.
Phoenix one because he even has the same brush strokes.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so he's doing a live painting, not a computer generated.
Yes.
What's the difference between that and using a model? Like, okay, so
that's what he's doing.
The statue to me.
But I don't think he's using a model. They said what he's probably doing is using a light box and tracing.
And here's what I think he's doing. I think that he's doing so many covers that he's having a hard time setting up positions and how he's going to make the character. So it's just easy for him to see something he likes and go, okay, I'm going to use that position. And he's just copying it too close.
It's too like Paul said, the Judge Dredd is ridiculous how bad that looks.
But it's not an homage. That's the thing. It's just
it's a ripoff.
I heard somebody, and I don't remember who it was. So I don't want to say I messed up their, what they were saying, but they were saying, I guess Matina originally came from either some kind of an advertising background or something like that, where this was the norm for them to do that. So he's not really, that's kind of what he knows. It's not something that's out of the ordinary for him. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't put a little thing in there to say, whatever, but I mean, that's pretty much where Liefeld got in, everybody started really making fun of him, other than the feet thing, but is that he just basically was just copying everything, characters, drawings, whatever. So,
and I've seen this in the tattoo world too, on the show, I think it was Tattoo Inc. or whatever. Some guys were grabbing images off of internet and kind of tracing over the internet as a like a piece of art. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's exaggerating lines and stuff. I mean, but yeah, he allegedly, right? All allegedly, it's looking the same. So.
I put in the chat, use it as your inspiration for your base, and maybe, just don't directly copy it. Hey, that's cool. I made it my own, where it's obviously my own, or just give credit.
Give him 6 fingers on one hand.
Yeah, man.
Now the one that I find the worst is the Batman Punisher one.
Yeah.
Because the actual artist who did this, if you go to his Instagram page, he's got still shots of different areas of the picture, and you can't tell the difference between the pictures.
So is he upset on Instagram?
Oh yeah, that guy's pissed. He's fired up.
Is that guy a nobody as far as the big picture? Or?
It's
Walter McNeil. I mean, I think the Punisher was artwork for a slideshow statue.
Yeah, it was. It looks like it.
Look at the scope. Even the scope is the same. Sorry for anybody on iTunes, but
Yeah, it's
Well, here-
Professor Oreo is it looks like Professor Oreo is his Instagram handle. So
The way his fingers are around the barrel and stuff.
Yeah, it's stupid how close it looks. Here, I'll put
Jesus.
this. Here's the Instagram for that artist. If you guys,
I threw it
check
on the
that
YouTube.
out.
Yeah,
I
do you
threw
know?
it on
No,
YouTube.
I
yeah.
put. Oh, you did. Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, sorry. I threw it on
And
YouTube.
That Lee
what's-
Ji Hyung guy, he's the artist who did the Ghost Spider variant cover.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, that's too bad.
It's
Good luck.
It's
I mean-
funny. I've watched Instagram and people have posted their like top 6 they want for the year books, and people are like pulling his books off their lists. Like he is
Yeah.
taking.
People are not happy
meeting.
about it. Like it's.
Well, they stopped him from coming to 2 cons. The cons said you're not allowed, you're not able to come.
Fan Expo and
Yeah,
Well,
Well,
I mean,
And you know that, I mean, in this day and age, once this stuff starts snowballing, it just doesn't stop.
but
Yeah.
here's the funny thing: is I think the first article came up over a year ago.
Yeah, on that
So
Venom, on that Venom 150.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like at a certain point you got to say, all right, you know what, I gotta change up my thing. Like I can't keep doing this, and I feel like if you keep doing it, then you didn't learn a lesson. You're not remorseful.
You mean Carlos Mencia when he stole jokes from comedians?
Yeah,
back in
he's
the day?
basically the Carlos Mencia of the comic industry right now.
So I mean, yeah, and like you
Is
said,
he
I
even
mean,
Italian?
I don't even know. Well, the thing too is like, and the problem is like, I understand if you take like art from other people as an inspiration, but like those guys put in hours and work. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for original ideas, I mean, I'm sure it took them hours to do that, not like 10
But
minutes.
you know what? Here's the thing, man. You just got to credit. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna do a shortcut, just give the guy credit.
Yeah, and
That's
like
all.
it wouldn't even hurt Matina. You think it would hurt Matina if you gave him credit before?
I don't think so, and I think that's a, maybe what Brian said. From his background, he doesn't think that it's that big of a deal, but like he's got to be getting shit from fellow artists now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like how do you even like show your like as an artist? Just like comedians, right? Other comedians kind of show like here's a set of my preview, my set list, and give review like peer review and stuff. Like, how would you be confident if you were even either an up and coming artist or an artist in general, like Campbell or something? Would you like show him all the new stuff you're working on? Like I wouldn't.
No, they won't. He'll get ostracized, right? I mean,
yeah.
look
right.
at like people like Arthur Sidem. That guy is. I mean, I don't know if it's stealing with him, but it's just being a douchebag in general.
Hey, don't talk about Paul's favorite comic book artist.
Yeah. The guy, nobody likes him. None of the artists, his peers, like him, and that's a big deal when you're in a world like an art world, whether it's being a comic book artist, tattoo artist, musician. I mean, comedian. When your art is something that's more personal than anything. So when you're stealing other people's art, that's a big deal.
Let's also not forget that these guys, that's their job. Like,
Yeah.
how would you like to go to work and then have somebody take all your all the credit for the work you did that day, and all right, now I'm getting nothing for it.
And I understand the deadlines too, because I follow like Dawn McTeague on Instagram, and she was talking about how deadlines are killing her too. You know what I'm saying? She
But you know
covers
what?
Deniscope stuff, but I mean, still.
I'm sorry.
you don't
As
like deadlines, just go to Black Mask.
as a business owner,
Quote of the day, simple man.
as a business owner, you gotta
you gotta
have
manage
to you have to know what you can and can't do, and if you can't do your own work without cheating,
Yeah.
then maybe you shouldn't take on so much work.
That's agree. I agree. I'm in the same boat, brother.
Don't do 10 variants for DC Comics every month.
Well, could you imagine being one of those artists that he's stealing from, and he's taking your work and making 10 times the amount of money off of it than you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think he's giving that money back? I don't think so. It's
No.
probably gone.
Why hasn't he put out a fire yet? That's the other thing. If it's something that you really didn't mean to do, viciously or whatever, you would go out and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to be like this.
It didn't happen on Italian News Network yet.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's see. Let's see. I mean, I'm gonna look up his Instagram page right now.
I think he blocked one of the artists.
Did he?
Oh, that's even worse.
The one guy, the guy with the Punisher.
The last
blocked
time,
him.
the last time he posted was Christmas Eve 2018. So it's the last time he posted,
Not that
at
long.
least on Instagram. I mean, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Bryant,
remember hearing another artist have this many issues. Like, you know, once in a while, it's like, all right, this guy stole one piece here, one piece there. Like, I mean, I think now everyone's going to go through his work with a fine tooth comb now.
Well, how about the guys who like this guy? I don't even know who's. I don't. Some places doing like store variants with these guys. Like, how many people got Matina store variants rolling on? And like, do you even go through with it still? Like, you know,
well, that's the thing. This Batman one is Frankie's.
Yeah.
I think that's either out now or coming out. I think that's the Bat Who Laughs too.
You can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to get his perspective and see what he thinks. Like, because he basically commissioned Matina to do, you know, an original art piece, and
could I have him on the show? Reach out.
Yeah.
Why not? You guys want to move on? A little top 5 variant?
Yeah.
PC? Some more show off stuff?
Yeah. I'll go first, I guess, on this one. Let me present to everyone. Okay. So top 5 variants that either I own or don't own, but these are the ones.
I bet Dino doesn't pull out a Greek variant with his heritage.
Cool. I guess I'm not cool enough to have a Greek corn variant.
It'd be hilarious if you pulled out a crow Greek variant out of
Yeah. You think I care? You think I'm out here? I'm out here. Okay. So I showed this one earlier this year. It was one of our last shows, but I mean, I picked this up. This is the 635 grand off, which is like dope. I'm gonna try to press it and hopefully get a 9.8. I mean, it's gonna be iffy, but I'm gonna make it work. So
I always get that Hulk cover confused with the Turner Hulk covers for some reason.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but that one's definitely prettier.
So that's that one.
The details on that one, like when you see it in person, are amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, I can like actually show it. Yeah. It's like with all the fire and all the other stuff.
You know what's weird about that is because that's very similar to his Savage Wolverine number 2 or 3 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that one goes for like absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just as good looking as that. I don't understand.
Yeah, and the only thing is like this is just I mean, on the notes, it's just the last issue. I mean, maybe that's why it's so popular because it's the last issue. And we always talk about this, right? It's books like that Spider-Gwen book. Is it 13B or 14 or 23B? It's like the middle of run variants are like variant books that people have got off of on Incredible Hulk or, like deep in the series. Like, if it's a 1 in 50 and nobody's buying that book anymore, it just becomes rare maybe. I don't know.
Well, look at that Black Knight variant that shot up all of a sudden.
Yeah. This is my next one. This one I got in Baltimore actually. So it's not it technically is a variant, the Red Sketch Edition, but it's my boy AG. It's another grand off. He did the Spawn, and I got the Todd McFarlane signature on it. So and it's a 9.8 and it's CGC. I know if you look behind on Scotty's cam, he's got the matching set of Venom on the back wall. So
man, has Dino been like replaced by Coy or John Brown or something? Got all these Gronoff.
Oh, you ready for this one? You'll love this one, dude. I went with the old model site.
Ah, sweet.
It's a 9.6, man. I can't believe I got a 9.6 on it. I tried to go for 9.8, all black cover.
That is so awesome.
With the Ashley Wood. But so Ashley Wood.
Why is that special?
It's hard to find, right?
Oh yeah.
Wood,
have you ever seen? Yeah, I've never seen it.
I've never seen. The only one I picked up, I picked this one up after your article. So I got some crazy.
Find it graded?
I got some. No, I graded it myself. I got some crazy number on it because I don't even know what to sell for. So, but so it's that one. This one's cool too. I got a couple of these actually. Hughes, the old Adam Hughes Hellboy sketch editions, the Krampus ones, right?
That was from your one pickup, right?
Yeah, one pickup. I got like 2 or 3 of these actually.
Nice.
So, I thought this was a cool. I just, it's Hughes, nothing on the bag, but it's hard, man. It's a black back cover. It's kind of black, all blackish, maybe. As a sketch edition. And then, last but not least, this is for Mr. Stein because I actually picked this up before the show even started.
Oh, sweet,
nice.
So I got a whole set of these. Or we have a whole set of these. Campbell did a bunch of bubble gun and like little Aspen covers back in the day.
Pretty cover.
Yeah, dude, I thought it was dope. He did a bunch of them. He did like Samurai one. He got a whole run. We got this. We bought these a whole set of these. They're already slabbed and everything for a decent deal. So, but yeah, this is back in 2013 too. So I mean, it's before Campbell. I guess would you say started making like 25 covers for everything and kind of would you say really blowing up at that moment? I mean, I don't know, 2013. I mean, Campbell was kind of
that's when he was really starting to pick up steam.
Yeah, because we got how many books was it? Scotty, I don't know, like
10 of them.
10 of them. Yeah, we had like 10 of them, 10 set of these, and they're all different, obviously different covers and stuff. So
Sweet.
So that's my 5. I am being a coy. I'm trying to collect runoffs, baby.
Don't start taking all the runoffs off the market, man.
Trying not to. Boys, who wants to go next? Anybody want to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay. Do it up, dude.
All right. So, I got 6 because I couldn't make a cut.
Cheater.
Yeah, I am a cheater.
Can't count either.
I'll tell you what. This is going to be. I'm only putting this in because we had the Planet Comics earlier.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a cool cover, man.
That's my 5B.
Yeah.
So that's my 5B. Dirty Pair, #1 Hughes variant. Such a great cover.
Tough to find in that grade too.
Yeah, I definitely paid for it, but that was one that I had to have. #2, this might be my favorite book that's active right now. East to West #1, the RRP.
Nice.
Is that PC or are you gonna flip it?
This is PC, definitely.
Are they all PC?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, they're all PC. This one, this was one I bought raw and got it graded in Baltimore last year. So
you bought it raw from LCS?
No, I got it off of eBay.
Dang, that's nice.
But I got it a while ago. Like,
how many copies of those are there out there?
Supposedly 500. I've heard 500. I've heard 300. I would probably think around 500. There's not many though. It's definitely getting harder and harder to find. I'd recommend if you can get one for a decent price, grab it because I don't know if anybody if you read that comic, it's one of the best. I mean, Hickman and Dragotta kill it. They really do. Number, I guess this would be 4. Loesch 23 Hughes variant.
Only 9.6, boo.
It's only a 9.6.
No. You take a permanent marker and you turn that 6 into an 8. You're golden, man.
This one has special meaning for me because it was my last Raz win before the Raz page.
Nice.
Oh, you did win that, you dirty bastard.
Yep, I think I won it on $10.
Oh,
So, and that's the cat. That's the cat.
She doing all right?
Yeah, she's doing better now. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Let's see. All right, number 3 is going to be Wonder Woman 50 photo variant, the convention variant.
You got it signed, right? She signed it?
Yeah, it's signed by Gail. So
nice. That's a cool cover, man. I like it.
I would probably do anything for her.
Yeah.
If she asked me to.
Yeah.
She's special.
That video where she's looking at Chris Pine is probably one of the hottest non-nudie videos I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just with a bite of the lip.
Oh God, yeah. Don't just stop. Number 2, Spawn 227 or no 221. 227, no, sorry. 227 sketch variant. 9.8.
Whew.
Yeah,
that's hard to find.
Yeah, this was the most money I spent on a Spawn book ever, and I'm very glad to have it. It's signed by McFarlane, so I mean, can't beat it. I'm not a huge fan of Signature Series books, but I think on something like this, it works.
The Todd Father, brother.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, his signature is the best in the business.
It is.
It really is. And then last, but certainly not least, pride and joy of my variants. Saga 1.
Oh, dude.
Wow.
Did you buy that?
I bought this about 2 years ago.
Oh God.
Yeah, I did not want a 9.6, but I couldn't justify buying the 9.8, and for what I got this for, I just couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, I'm sure that went up crazy, right? It went up with 9/8?
No, I mean, I think I'll be honest. I think I paid about $1,200 for this, and it's selling for about 15. I think was the last sale, but
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't.
yeah.
It doesn't really matter what it's selling for because I'll never get rid of it unless I get a 9/8.
That book haunts me.
Why? You had a shot at it?
I just never. I remember that's the most money I've thrown down on a Raz and just took a beating.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll happen.
And every time I see it, it's more than I want to spend. And every time I see it again, it's twice what I wanted to spend last time.
Yeah, I mean that's why. Like at one point, I just said, you know what, this is reasonable. It's not crazy. I'm just gonna get it.
We're all waiting for one of those Legos to fall down, man.
Yeah, come on, get down.
Dude, she's looking at you and she's gonna
I
give
know,
you a little.
she's such a bitch.
Funny. That's good stuff.
I'll go. I don't know if Scott's done or not.
I think he's done. Are you done, Scotty?
All right, I'm back.
Thank God Scott was wearing pants.
Yeah, right.
I
I forgot that we were doing video last week, and I took my pants off before the show.
Are you? You're done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll go with Paul.
All right, I'll do a double trouble. I'll do my books, and then I'll do a Paul's problem. So we'll give you it all. Let me turn this other monitor off for glare. So I think I have 6 books as well. But
God dang it! I can bring a whole box down.
I have this Harley Quinn. It's the Panini Loot Chest variant, and she doesn't have the black shorts on, which I like.
Kinky.
Yeah, but
I love that cover.
I like how you said, which I like.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a 9/8, so it's probably gonna stay raw. But I don't know. You never know. I might settle for a 9/6.
Oh, he's like Coy now. He's like Coy. No, not in. Not 9.
Yeah. I got a couple permanent markers right here, man. Turn into a 9/8 and give me 5 minutes. But next up is Ninja Turtles #1. This is from Russia.
Ooh.
And I have a few more Russian covers, but I didn't want to push it past 5 covers too far. But so just off eBay, got a few.
Is that black and white cover? Or does it have a little color in it?
Little red, but you can tell.
So it's basically similar to the regular one.
When did that come out?
I have no idea. I don't know. But next to a regular comic, you can tell. Sorry for the glare, but it's a little bit smaller.
That's cool.
But yeah, just something unique. I saw it on eBay, and I was like, "That's sweet." So same seller, and I bought a bunch of different covers from the first 5 issues or something like that. Sticking with Turtles, of course. This is the IDW series #5, the RI cover. If you see this in the wild, it's pretty rare. There's also
Did you get that off of Carl?
one of them. Yeah. I bought this. I think this is one of my issues from Baltimore for a good price. But there's also Global Conquest edition, but this is the #1 to get. I'm aiming for a 9/8 in this cover just because I have like a Christmas cover thing going on, but that's my Turtles Christmas cover. This is kind of a 2-for-1. Let me make sure I line these up right. Kind of a blast from the past.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Buddy.
Yeah, the CBSI Untamed variant set.
That artwork was awesome.
Yeah, digging through my books, I thought I'd throw that in there.
I toyed with that one.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure if I'd duplicate anybody. And then I was looking. I pulled this off my wall. This is a Ninja Turtles number. It's listed as number NN by CBCS, but it's a 10-0. So, I mean, if you have a 10, you got to show it off. But it's a artist proof, #1 of 50.
Nice.
And talking to a guy who I bought this from, actually, he said that Kevin Eastman wanted a cover where he'd gotten his butt handed to him by Shredder, and this is actually supposed to be Kevin's wife, kind of showing it up to Shredder. So it's a neat cover. I have a couple other of these, but this is a 10, so I had to show that off.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Awesome.
And my final book is, if my house is on fire and my family was safe, I'd probably run in and throw this out the window. This is IDW Turtles #3, and it's the VA Comic Con edition. in a 9/8, and
That's
it's just one of my favorite covers. It's in this frame, and I got a couple pins off of eBay, and I just love it. And on the back is the sketch, so it's kind of a 2-for-1.
Oh, cool.
But, that's just one of my favorite books. It's just gorgeous to look at. You know, April holding some plush turtles in the back outer window. You can look up the image, but the turtles are actually hanging out on a city park statue, checking in on her. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, that's probably my number one. I mean, I'm sure if my house was really on fire, I might react differently. but that's one of my top ones. So that's all I got.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Should we let Stein go because he's gonna whoop us all?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta follow up with the Paul's problem.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I got so daisy-eyed by April. So my last Paul's problem was about that beer that exploded in my trunk, and so this story is in a similar vein. I was at a gas station in downtown Toledo, it was daylight, so I don't go to a gas station in downtown Toledo when the sun's not out. But
hey, you told me it would be okay.
yeah, right. So I went inside, and I don't know why. It happened a while ago, so I don't know if I was tired or just in the mood for a pop. But I bought a couple cans of Coke and Coca-Cola. That is. But anyway, so I went out to my car and I had it in the bag, and I got in my car or whatever. I can't remember the details, but one of them had like this pinhole in it, and it was just spraying Coca-Cola all over the place. So it's all over my hands. I'm like, what the god damn it. So I put my finger over the pinhole. I brought it in to prove it to him. And I was like, hey, I just bought this can of Coke. Because of course, why would I just say, screw it, it's $1.49 and throw it away? I'm going to go inside and get my replacement.
Not surprised.
A hard-earned $1.49. So I got a replacement. And again, I'm downtown, so I'm like, just hurry it up. And then I got back to my car and I'm pumping gas. I'm like, God, my hands are kind of sticky. And I don't want to drive to work or wherever I'm going with sticky hands. So it was snowy out. So I picked up some snow, rubbed my hands, and just I went like this to shake my hands off. And then I heard ting, ting, ting. And my ring was gone. My original wedding ring. And it wasn't too expensive, but just, nostalgia and all that, gone. And long story short, I didn't find it. And I looked all over, and I'm sure some bum found it and pawned it for $20 or something. But
you mean you didn't head out there with a metal detector?
No, I did stop in there a couple times afterward. I'm like, hey, anybody turn in a ring? And nothing happened. So
I'm surprised that's not enough for your wife to leave you. Like, I'm done.
No, I think it was like an $80 ring or something. We figured ahead of time that I would lose it in short time.
Did you make some
That was the
duplicates?
decoy ring.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Decoy ring. God love you, Paul.
That was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, I crossed off the list, but yeah, that was a good one. All right, Stein, you're up, my man.
All right. All right. So I was trying to, when you guys said find top 5 variants, I was like, well, do I want to go with top 5 that I love or top 5 that because honestly, probably my favorite variant is that Silver Surfer number 2, the Francavilla, but which I have, but people have seen that one. So I went with things more that nobody else has probably else has seen.
Obscure.
Yeah.
Top 5 variants I got for $1 and they're worth $1,000 right now.
Top 5 Ben Stein Ghost.
Yeah, these are kind of out there, but all right. The first one is a J. Scott Campbell. I wasn't even sure for the longest time if this book even existed, but then I randomly found it on eBay last year, and the guy just had it as, I think he had it mislabeled or something like that. Ended up getting it for like $15 or something like that. But it's a Elephant Man number.
Oh wow.
31.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it was just, I just don't, like I said, I wasn't sure that it actually existed, but
wait a second. Can we flip it, or you got a board on it? You got a board on it?
I got a board on it.
It's
Oh,
not
because
that one. It's
It's
the,
not the
No,
one. That's not
no,
the flip one.
I think it's
No,
18, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
The 18. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got them confused because just so everybody knows, there's another one where the cover's on the back and people get confused and think it's 18. Or oh, he probably has it. Oh,
Yeah.
That one.
That elephant, man.
And that color one is tougher to find than the black and white.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I was actually, I found when I was with, or went to Denver a couple years ago, and I met with Keith, and we went to a store, and I actually found in back issues, the guy had 5 of those number 18s, but he had them flipped, so they were just all sitting in there for cover price. So I just bought them all, and when we got out to Keith's car, I took them all out and was like, "Was this going to be the color or the sketch?" And 4 of them were sketch, and only 1 of them was the color. But
Darn.
Yeah. Yeah,
Still
but
does well.
but anyway, that Elephant Man, I just didn't, like I said, I didn't. There's a 32, I think, that connects to that. That's just as hard.
Yep.
But
That run's got some great variants in it.
oh, it does. I used to have the Capullo, which I think is number 23, which I'd never seen either. Ended up selling that one for quite a bit, but. Yeah, so I don't know whether or not I'm going to eventually sell this Elephant Man or not. But all right, so then I will go off the beaten path here. This one you probably have seen before, but I'm a kid of the 80s, like late 80s, early 90s. So those kind of cartoons, there's actually 2 books in here that are kind of from that era. So I was a huge Darkwing Duck fan, and I think actually you guys. Forgotten 5 might have this book, but it's it's the number 1, the incentive variant.
That's a tough one to find.
yep.
I don't know, the colors on it, the perspective on it is just
It's amazing.
perfect. It's just perfect. I just love it. It's always been one of my favorites. I couldn't really the rare times that I would see it on eBay. It was, always expensive, and I just couldn't justify spending that. And then I don't remember where I was. I think I was in El Paso, Texas, or something like that, and went to a antique store or something, and there was one sitting there for $3.99, so I bought it and was happy. I was like, I'm done. That's all I needed. All right, so I also like Lucio Perillo. I think his variants are awesome, and I actually didn't realize that I had picked up this like years ago, only because I was like, oh, I love that cover, I'm gonna buy it. And then once he started getting hot, then I was like, oh, I think I've got a Virgin variant of that one, but this one is Red Sonja Revenge of the Gods #2.
That's badass.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
if you look at it on most of these, you're not going to find on eBay. I don't like buying variants that everybody else has, but this one you can find occasionally. You can find the one with the trade dress, but the Virgin can't really find. It's just a sick cover. So if you look up Revenge of the Gods #2.
So she's doing like a backflip after chopping someone's head off, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's kind of got like a little half smile on her face at the same time.
She's enjoying it.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy your work.
Right. Yeah. So, anyways, I think that one's an awesome cover. So, this was another one. This is like from my childhood. I loved those Disney afternoon cartoons. This one I found in a back issue bin. I honestly didn't even know this one existed until I saw it. But it is like the quintessential Uncle Scrooge. So it actually is DuckTales #4. It's a Virgin. It's a Virgin variant.
I've seen it, but I've never seen it like in person.
Yeah. I actually saw one just sold on eBay like in December, which is the first one that I think I'd ever seen actually listed on eBay, and it sold for like $100.
Yeah.
But it's just finding this is just impossible.
That takes you back to like your 12-year-old cartoon watching self.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to see your eBay watch list.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is Uncle Scrooge, or I'm sorry, DuckTales number 4. It's the Virgin variant. They did not do a trade dress of this, so this is the only way that you could get this image was through the variant. So,
Oh wow, was it ratioed or?
Yes, but they didn't back then because this was from like 2004 or something like that, maybe 5. They didn't really tell what the ratios were, so
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea how difficult that is to find. And then lastly, I ran across this one about 2 months ago, and actually has now become one of my absolute favorites. I did not. Again, this is another one I did not know existed, but it's a Jurassic Park sketch variant, and I hate sketch variants, but this one's Bernie Wrightson.
Wow.
I did not know that. Yeah, it's a Bernie Wrightson Jurassic Park sketch variant.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
I've never seen it on eBay. I do not know.
I guess it's IDW. It can't be that old.
Yeah, it's not that old.
Bernie Wrightson's one of those guys that anything in sketch just looks gorgeous, like McFarlane, Jim Lee, Wrightson.
What issue number? What issue number is that?
Michael
That is number 4, Jurassic Park number 4, and it says it's the. I know it's an incentive. I've never seen it for sale anywhere.
2010.
2010.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
It was a 1 in 10 too.
Yeah. Now I don't know how many people were ordering Jurassic Park by issue number
only
4.
10.
Right. Yeah, I would suspect that there's very few of these probably actually out there, even though it was only a 1 in 10.
We only made 10.
Oh, Paul. You know what's funny? Paul Pope did the third one. There's a lot. Everybody else did. Arthur Adams did number 2.
Yeah, there was some other ones there, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a really cool sketch, and then I was like, oh gosh, that's Bernie Wrightson. I didn't want to be. I mean, it's sad that I didn't even know he was still doing art this late or this recent. But yeah, so it's actually I was in 90. Was it first Jurassic Park was what 93, something like that? 92, 93, 94. It was right after I just got out of high school, and I was a huge Jurassic Park fan. There was actually a guy that I remember from high school that posted on my Facebook when I turned 40, and he said, my fondest memory of you was how many times you went and saw Jurassic Park at the theater. And I'm like, really? That's really strange. But yeah, so that one just kind of just is like as perfect as I think you could probably get.
It's funny. I laughed so hard at that because my brother and I used to watch Jurassic Park on VHS every time we went to my grandmother's house. I cannot name how many times we saw the original, so that's hilarious.
Yeah. Now I would show, well, you know what? I'm just going to go and show it because Paul and Scott cheated as well. Because I just got this back from CGC. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. All right, so I believe there's only 3 of these in existence, 398s. But it's the Masters of the Universe, the Brett Booth variant from MV Creations. It's crazy rare.
Dude, Sean told me it was crazy rare. Like the Master Universe.
Yeah.
Guy.
So eventually I am going to get rid of this. And
I'm watching Wood sit back in his chair and seeing his thinking cap.
Yeah.
This is probably much rarer than the Wilkins Skeletor. It's much rarer than that. So I don't know what to do with it. Don't really care. But
oh wow,
blasphemy.
Anyways, that's what I got.
I can go next real quick just to ride on some of that craziness. I went with 6, but the reason I did is because I consider these 2 kind of one and goes along with the Campbell stuff that we're kind of going along, and it's the G.I. Joe Campbell covers.
Yeah, I love this too.
to me, this is the
Yep.
best Campbell ever did anything. G.I. Joe is my childhood to a T. G.I. Joe, Garbage Pail Kids, and these are just gorgeous. So,
I think I sold that set at Indy last year.
and these are super hard to find in high grade. So
They sell so well too.
yeah.
Yep.
So I kind of just consider those one. This one has kind of grown on me the last, I don't know, couple 6 months or so. I picked this up really lucky before it got hot. It's the all new Wolverine #2 variant.
wow.
Yeah,
Is that Jay Lopez?
I think it's let's see, yeah,
sorry.
David Lopez. Yeah,
David Lopez, yeah.
and this has got a ton of room to grow. Just
It's a
the
beautiful
normal
cover.
cover does, yet alone the variant. So beautiful cover though, in my opinion. It's the takeoff on the I think it's Wolverine, the X-Men 132, where he's in the sewers, and it's kind of that they consider that scene where Wolverine's in the sewers and he says, "Oh, it's my turn." That's kind of like the quintessential Wolverine panel. So beautiful panel, beautiful cover. So.
Is that Gabby actually a decent character, or is it people just jumping on it?
I think she's a decent character. I think she can be that kind of character that you can build a lot of story around. She's kind of, because that's what X-23 was, right? In her origin, she was kind of like that exact same person, and now she has that person she can kind of mold, but you can see her kind of going evil and maybe that type of thing. So I think she's a good character to latch on to. Obviously, X-23 is a huge character. That's one character that I think there's no sign of that slowing down. So the next book to go along with the DuckTales, this is the San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh,
Yeah. And it's actually signed by Warren Spector. So the story about this, a lot of people know the story. It was given out at San Diego, and the cool thing about it is Warren Spector is the guy that came up with the idea for game cartridges for our Atari, and they came to Warren Spector. I believe I think I have this right. So if Stein, you might know it, somebody might know it, but they came to Warren Spector and they wanted him to write a book, I think, and this is the one he wrote, and so he signed a couple of the copies, and I was lucky enough to get one, and it's all black cover, so it's really hard to find a good grade. I'm gonna probably need a press on it, but it's got a couple spine ticks, but I sent it to CBCS and they sent it back to me. They wouldn't grade it, and it really pissed me off. And I think they didn't give a reason why they wouldn't grade it. They didn't give no reason at all. I think they just didn't know what they were looking at, which is silly. So
I've heard good people talk about emailing CBCS. So I think if you email them before and then send it in, they'll be able to help you.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But he wrote a little thing on there that says "rewrite history," and then he signed it. So very cool.
It's possible that they just don't know that signature at all. Maybe they don't have there's nothing to base it on.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And then my last two, obviously big. Like I said, G.I. Joe is when I think of G.I. Joe, I think we enjoy.
Are you out the Turner?
Yeah. So I think when we think about, we like to collect stuff from our childhood because it takes us back to a time where we didn't have any worries, and it just, when you're a kid and you don't have to worry about getting up, going to work the next day, or paying bills, or the problems we have when we get older, it's fun to go back and collect that stuff. And obviously the Turner, the Renegar, I think that's what it's called, Renegar edition, and this is a special one. I probably have 8 to 9 copies of the regular Renegar edition. I have two 9.8s of the regular and like 6 or 7 raws, and then I have 2 of this copy, and this one's kind of special because it's the silver edition, and they actually misprinted it, the silver stamp. And I like those kind of airs, so I picked it up. It's 8.5,
It's a
obviously.
little
because-
off registration.
yeah. So I just like cool stuff like that, little weird things. But I talked about this before. I think this might have been something I brought up on one of the first shows I was on with you guys. This run, Turner did this cover. He did the Wraith cover. The Wraith cover has a special silver variant that's tough to find too. And he actually signed a couple of those. So that's a fun book to pick up. Usually you can find them around $200. Sometimes you get lucky and you find 3 or 4 of them for 25. But again, Graham Crackers also did a couple of these issues for the second Image run, where they did a Captain America variant homage. So that's a cool one. But this probably is one of my favorite all-time books. And I actually went into a local store here. We have a store here called Dreadnought Comics. One of the best looking stores I've ever been to. Really original how they display their books. DeVoe, I think, stopped by the store when he was out here on a trip. And if anybody ever gets a chance to stop by any stores in Phoenix, definitely stop by Dreadnought. They're very, very original with how they display their books, and they've got an amazing setup. It's basically like 30 walls, or like when you go to a convention and they have their wall books, they have these panels that these guys are they're woodworkers and contractors, and their day jobs. So they built this amazing store where they're just wall panels where you just move them along, and they're just row after row of them, and they have all these wall books up. This was at their register, kind of in a frame. And it's Amazing Spider-Man number 36, the black cover. But a local artist named Andy Carrion did a Venom sketch on it.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
And it's absolutely beautiful. And every time I went in there, I begged them to sell it to me. And after about 10, 15 times, they actually threw out a number thinking I wouldn't bite. And I bit. And I bought it. So this actually was the first time I picked up one of his anything with his art, and I actually contacted him and had him do 2 more sketch covers for me. But this is the first one I found, and it's absolutely amazing.
That white really pops. I wonder, is that white out? I wonder what kind of paint that is.
So he had a really tough time getting this to work, and he kept trying all kinds of different markers. And it's funny because they had him in store doing a signing, and they convinced him. They said, will you do a sketch on it? And he said, if you give me another copy, because he wanted a black copy to take home because he didn't have one. So they said, yeah, we'll give you one. And he did this amazing sketch for him. And I'm really happy that they sold it to me, because it's definitely one of the prides of my collection.
Awesome.
Pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yep. So cool stuff.
Cool.
That's it.
All right. I think
But whoa, what's sitting behind you, though? You got this big canvas teasing us back there.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut that off.
Let me go grab this here.
Yeah, do it up, dude.
Yeah, this is something I was showing the guys before, so let me grab it. All right. So this is the original art to original number 0. And I picked this up off of Jim Chung. I contacted him when it first came out, trying to get the glare. Hopefully you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
If
awesome.
if you can hear us, that looks good.
Yeah. I put out my thing for the head plug. But yeah, I picked this up. I saw the preview and the preview edition. And the Watcher is my favorite character. And
He's a great character.
yeah, so and to see something like that cover come out, I'm a big original art guy, and I hit him up as soon as it came out. And it was funny because he told the book wasn't ready to come out, until like 3 more months. So he told me, yeah, I'll sell it to you, but you have to wait for the book to come out. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. I was just happy that he hadn't sold it yet. And the week that it came out, he was actually here in Phoenix for a con. So it worked perfectly. He gave me the cover, the original cover. He gave me the little Nova extra little piece, which he did separately. And then just because he's a cool dude, he gave me 2 pages of the interior that included the Watcher for free. And
wow.
yeah, so I can't say enough about how important original art is in this hobby. I think it's worth way more to collect original art than it is any variant, even sketch covers, because when a thing is a 101 and it's the actual art, I mean, you're getting into some craziness. You never know, something could turn into a Spider-Man 300 cover, and in 10 years you can get $1 million for it. So that original art is pretty crazy. We were talking earlier about some of those guys painting the big, huge 5x5. So original art is if it's something in your wheelhouse and you can throw some money at, definitely don't be shy. So, yeah.
Awesome.
That's cool, dude. That's really dope. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Whatever.
Okay. Do it up, Brian. Do it up, man.
Big balls to follow that up.
Yeah.
So, Masters of the Universe, but I'm also a big Disney fan. So, I got this book, which is the Enchanted Tiki Room number 1 in 50 variant. I got
That's
this
probably
because
pretty rare.
Enchanted Tiki Room is one of those cheesy rides that, well, it's not even a ride. It's a show at Disney World and Disneyland, but it's been around since the 60s, and that orange bird's like their icon. So when this came out, I bought it raw off DCBS. That's when they had variants for cheap. So I bought off DCBS 1 in 50 for like $30, and it immediately jumped up, and I sold it for like 75, and it went back down. I got this for $90.
Wow.
But as a 1 in 50, it's more of a PC type book. And settle down, Joe. It's coming. And then, of course, I got the Gamora, Matina.
Dude, you know what? I'm so pissed. I $200 9.8, and I'm like, this book will come back down.
This is another one that was right before. No, DCBS started jacking the prices up, but this one wasn't. This was I think this was $25 as well off DCBS at the time. I never sent it in. It's actually a really clean copy, but
Well, we're
I've been lazy.
Matina copied that off of, so it'll drop.
Yeah.
And keeping with Matina, I got the Dark Knight's Metal number 2, the fish hook variant.
That's a
Matina as
good
well,
cover. I like that one.
but try and keep the.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
And this one I had Big Leg pick up for me at WonderCon. He used to love wrestling. I don't like wrestling as much anymore. I can't keep up with it. But he got this for me, and this is the WrestleMania Sting.
Oh, wow, nice.
That was
He
beautiful.
picked this up raw, and you know Sean works his magic. He's like, dude, I'm gonna submit it and it'll be a 9.8. And I was like, yeah, definitely. Tell me how much I owe you. So he sent this in, got it graded for me.
That's got to be the best out of all those, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
My buddy Matt, Washington Apple, he's got a 9.8 SS by Sting.
Wow.
How
That's
many
dope.
apples, Matt?
Anyone that went to Baltimore Comic Con with us this year knows Washington Apple.
I know what you're saying now.
I have a bunch of those wrestling covers, but that one was close on my freaking list.
And then, of course, my precious is the Dave Wilkins Mess of the Universe 9.8. There was 9 blue labels on the census, but after Baltimore, it rose up to 10. It was a CBSI guy got one right. So there's 10 blue labels now, and there's 2 9.8 SS. But
Wow.
this is
That's such a
definitely
great
my prized possession variant.
Ooh.
And that's it. They said 5, so I did 5 because
You're not a cheater.
You
You're
follow
not,
the
you're not a
rules.
rule breaker, brother.
No.
You learned how to count since one of your last videos.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Z, you're up.
All right,
Was it
Zeke,
me?
put us to shame.
This is not my category. I did.
Yeah, it's not double clown covers.
No, none of that. I did leave the Lost.
Nicaragua.
I left Lost 23 off because we all love it. I got one that's fine. And I showed the Turner German last week, so I left those guys off the list. Tried to do something original. I did cheat with one that we saw last week, but only because Scotty made me freaking jealous. Starfire, Teen Titans 75, Hughes variant.
Oh, the man hand.
This is actually the fourth freaking copy I've owned in 9.8 of the, I think 10 or 11 exist. I had to buy this one after I got rid of all the other three. It was stupid. I don't know how it happened. I'm an idiot, and I had to rebuy it. So it is one of my favorites. I wish I had all four of them back. Whatever. I'm going to go again with Starfire.
Love that Darwin Cook.
3, Darwin Cook.
That was like the last variant he did, right?
I know somebody looking for one of those.
I do too. I'm sure not going to trade it because that guy always wins.
He always wins.
Coy beats me every time.
So
Funny enough, I did get this off a CBSI guy randomly on eBay. I didn't know it till the end. It was our friend Jared.
Cool.
Went to
But
Jared.
this Starfire by Cook is amazing. Cook stuff is just way underrated. Didn't appreciate him when he was here. I wish I did. If anybody ever comes across, he did that. There was a Cook variant month, and he had a Teen Titans cover. I don't think there's any 9.8s, but if anybody stumbles across one that might be one, I would love it. It's just an awesome cover of them like being a band. It's amazing to me. I don't know. I've bought every raw copy I can come across, and just none are 9.8s. This one, I'll do a Granov because we've all done a few.
No.
The Moon Knight one, 2014 Granov.
Are those rivets?
No, this is the original OG CBCS.
Okay.
I have debated sending it to the crossover, but man, I'm so scared that if it gets a 9.6, it's not worth it. If it were a rivet, I would do it in a heartbeat, but since it's the OG label, I'll leave it. I don't hate that one as much. I'm not really sure why they changed because that was actually a little unique. But this cover to me is just the quintessential Moon Knight image. I know everybody likes the 1 in 75. I could take or leave that one, honestly. I know it's more rare.
The Sigovich
that
one?
one's better.
The Granov is just, this is Moon Knight at his best.
That might be one of Granov's best.
Top 3 or 4 for sure. Maybe,
I'd throw that Hulk's, the one that Dino has, and then the Captain Marvel in.
yeah, the Captain Marvel's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Hulk probably beats it, but
Yeah. I'm saying top 3
yeah.
of those 3. The Moon Knight, the Captain Marvel, and the Hulk.
I'd probably go with that. You could probably argue one more, but
The Venom.
The
that
Venom's
to me,
good.
That Moon Knight to me is the image of Moon Knight that should be just portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
This one will look familiar to our friend Scotty. This is just a personal.
Yeah, I almost put mine in too.
This is for those not watching live. It's the Blackest Night #1 retailer incentive, the red skull version.
I kind of regret selling that.
I know.
I actually, what was funny in Baltimore? I got 2 raw copies.
This one was one I was looking forever, and you stumbled upon that lot of CGC slabs, and I just said I need it. Blackest Night was one of the when I came back in, was one of the first series I got into. This cover was just
It's amazing
to me. You throw the red cover on it, I don't know, it just pops. I needed to have it. Probably far from the most valuable variant, probably far from the rarest, but just really
I don't know how like I said, I the first time I saw any raw copies was this year at Baltimore, and I snagged both of them.
You don't see many. Let's assume if it's a retailer incentive,
50 maybe.
I gotta think it
can't be more than 500.
That's my thought. It's around there. You and I went round and round with that, and the 1 in 200, and we priced them the same. I only went for that because it was red.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I'd bought both, but whatever.
You weren't getting both.
I know.
You were only getting one.
Happy I got the one I got. And the last one, I don't know, the least valuable, the only one I don't have graded, but our friend Sean hooked me up with this one, the Masters of the Universe 8 graham cracker variant with the Faker cover.
That's my favorite one.
Oh my god, I have no idea. Faker's been my favorite since I was a kid. I don't know, fighting over that orange sword with Ozzy. Just amazing. You throw that on a purple cover, it just pops. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, the colors really work well on that.
My boy Sean hooked me up with this one. Otherwise, I probably would not have it. So thank you to him again.
I thought about showing all 5 Masters of the Universe variants.
I was playing the odds none of you had that one.
Cool.
That's a damn good one.
Well, that's our top 5 variants.
Good show, guys.
Yeah. Are we gonna call it, or are we gonna save it for next time?
I think we should save some of the card heavy stuff for next show because this was such a comic heavy show. I know we got some card stuff in the back.
Why don't we go to number 8 real quick then? Keep with the variants.
Okay.
I can't remember who asked me to bring this up. I'm very sorry, I forgot your name. But he wanted to know,
on
like,
the Facebook group, right?
I think it was on. No, he messaged me directly.
Okay.
Let me just check real quick. If you guys want to introduce the topic.
Yeah, I can do that. So the topic is number 8 is what causes some variants to move slower.
Steve Horn.
Oh, Steve Horn. Okay. So move slower or lower than expected, and we're not talking ratios or rare variants.
Yeah, we're talking about like the Friesen variants, the Matina variants, all this stuff. Maybe like the covers that everyone appreciates, but they're talked about, but they never really show any movement on the secondary market.
Or how about Ross, like Alex Ross?
That's a good one. Yeah,
I think Adam Hughes is starting to head that way, though. That's what's sad. That's a sad thing. Some of the Hughes covers lately haven't been, even worth picking up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have not been his best work. Let's be honest.
No, I think part of the issue is a little bit of fatigue or oversaturation.
Yes.
We talked about it earlier with Matina. Like he's doing 5 to 10 DC covers a month. Like
Del Auto.
They're awesome. They're amazing. But it's like you can't.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy every one. And then you're gonna buy 5 of each.
I do love that Alex Ross variant that's coming out this week for Invaders. Regular priced.
And I also gotta also bring up, like, a lot of the variant art recently has been amazing. Like there hasn't been a lot of crappy art released, so I think that also has something like, oh, that cover is good, but you know what, this one's better.
I feel bad saying that about Adam Hughes, some of his stuff, because they showed that Scarlet Witch, and he's kind of redeeming himself a bit with that new Scarlet Witch one. But
that Birds of Prey one he did was pretty nice.
Some of his stuff, you can see he's using old sketches as just quick variants, and some of those sketches are garbage. So,
yeah, well, you've seen his sketches he does at cons. That's that's a complete joke.
It's about as good as his signature.
Yeah, right. Whoever would pay for his signature, I don't understand.
You mean his eyes wide shut things, where every girl is got side view with their eyes shut?
Remind me to next show to tell my Adam Hughes story.
Now, I'm thinking, a part of the oversaturation is, I think FOMO is causing overbuying in the pre-sales from speculators and retailers. Like, I don't think there's no rarity to these books. There's nothing really other than artificial hype that gets drummed up, whether it be on the G Plus group or whatnot.
You know what I think is going to happen is the variants are going to. I think you're going to start seeing not number ones going hot anymore. Like number ones, it's going to be like we saw, like 7, 8, 12, 20, 30. Like if a run's going to go for a little bit, I think it's going to be like 57 Bs. Harley Quinn 57 B. Like who's buying Harley Quinn at 57?
Yeah,
maybe.
I think shows like this, if we had more than 7, viewers, shows like this, with some of you guys showing off your variants that a lot of people don't, see very often, could really help that.
Like Stein, all Stein's variants. I'm sure 3/4 of whoever's listening probably never heard of those.
So 3/4 of whoever's listening is 1.
Yeah.
2 people.
Now the weird thing is, like, it seems like one out of nowhere, like Middleton Batgirl 23, just like pops up out of nowhere.
Well,
I'm thinking maybe
how they're changing the way they're doing them. They're like the Virgin style.
Yeah, But I mean, I know like for my LCS, like he doesn't buy a lot of B covers because a lot of times they don't get to see them until after cutoff.
Well, and my guy doesn't have enough. My guy doesn't buy B cover because he doesn't have enough subs to buy them. So I mean, even if they're like 25,
Yeah.
he's not buying 25 copies of something.
Well,
that
no, the B
25.
covers are all orderable. You could order as many A and B as you want.
Yeah.
But I think most people who aren't into the speculation game would want the regular cover A first.
Yeah.
And I think, and I mean, that's what my LCS does. Like he only orders B if he could see the cover and knows it's going to be good, or if people ask for it.
I think
and then
there's
Go
go ahead.
Not good.
I think there's a other side of that also. Whenever new people come in, new collectors come into the market, you'll see a quick escalation of covers of artists that all their other covers were just as good, and they're not doing much. But since new people are moving to the market, new releases, they get hot real quick and they spike. And it's kind of like kids when they hear a new song on the radio and don't realize it's been sampled by a classic song.
Oh, you mean like Britney Spears and Bobby Brown?
But so you'll see some Josh Middleton, his covers went up, and it's like some of his other covers were just as good. How come they weren't? Now the Batgirl 23 or whatever is completely different, but there's a lot of those artists that all of a sudden they'll spike on these new covers and they're like, hey, some of these other covers that came out before were just as good. What's going on? And then you see it's a new influx in the market of collectors. So the demand is getting higher for that particular issue.
Now, do you guys think that the fact that a lot of these covers are either low ratio or just flat out orderable,
Store variants,
or like we talked about the Gronoff Galactus variant.
Mm-hmm.
That was an orderable variant. Like that one's never going to be worth. It's never going to be worth anything.
I wish it wasn't because that was a great cover, man.
That was a 1 in 50. That's $100 book out the gate.
Yep. I mean, that's why I didn't buy it because I remember me and you were talking about it, and I said,
I bought one just because I had to have it.
Yeah, I said this was dope, and you were like, it's an orderable, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, but it's also similar to his cover he did for Hunger that had Galactus on it.
Yeah.
Because at first I kept comparing it. I was like, wait a minute, is this reused art? But it wasn't reused art. You're talking about the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
I mean,
it was a really good cover.
The way I see most of these, like especially with the DCBs and the orderable variants and the low run, like these are probably going to be long-term spec books. I'm thinking more like along the lines of like a Tech 880 or a Batgirl 12. Like those books basically were nothing until people realized, hey, you know what, this art is amazing. This cover is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what's in the book, but this is a regular cover. There's plenty of them out there, but the fact that people want it. So I think people are going to have to forget about these for 5 or 6 years.
I tell you, that Tech 880 is something that blows me away. I saw a raw sell for $450 the other day on Facebook. $450 raw book.
9/8s are going for $700, $800, $900.
Yeah, I got. You know what's funny? I got a bunch of Batgirl 12 art gems laying in a box graded 9/8. But I mean, is anybody specking any of that stuff right now? Like,
I mean, I bought the ones that I think are good, and I put them in a box, and I'm gonna
forget about them.
Yeah.
I think the only ones that end up like that are just where they're just completely unnoticed initially, away from the speculators, to where the only people that really pick them up are people who are not looking to resell at any time soon. Some of these pick up real quick, then they go back down. But really, the ones that have kind of sustained and are way up there, or are just really hard to find. You could possibly, kind of like DeVoe. DeVoe found that Tech 880 for $1 last week. It's some of those stores. Even when I've found several of them, I found one last year for 50 cents. The guy at the store had no idea. And just was pulling out stuff from his old overstock or whatever, and just threw it in a box and said 50 cents a book or whatever. But these other ones, they jump up really fast. So then the LCS is kind of, they kind of know to look for it. But these other ones, I think it has to have some kind. Here's a perfect example. remember when Hughes did that Sensation Comics #4 with Wonder Woman, where she, like, kind of basically, kind of all the speculators knew that book was coming out. It, never really sold very much. But even if you look at the print run on that book was only like 12,000.
Yeah,
I mean, it is ridiculously low. But that book is still only less than a $10 book. It's a gorgeous cover. It's a Hughes cover. It's Wonder Woman. And it's a super low print run. Why is that not a $50 or $75 book? It's because speculators had already bought it up front.
Yeah.
Well, how about this one? There's no, I mean, this is a 1 in 100, but this is when speculation. Remember back in 2014, 2015? Remember that Wonder Woman 38, 1 in 100?
The Finch.
Like, remember, like, everybody missed that book. I mean,
the Finch.
Yeah, the Finch book. And I'm not saying that's like the greatest cover ever, or it was a Finch book, but everybody slept on that book. Remember? And then it came out, and there was only 40 right now at 9.8. There might be more.
But that was also kind of a perfect storm event because it got hot at the same time that the movie Gal Gadot kind of getting in everybody's mind, and
I think with that too. But it's like, I mean, we've seen sleeper books, but I mean, I understand what you guys are saying too. It's like some books, you like you said, the Granoff book would have been $100 book. A couple other books, why aren't they booming? I think, I don't know. Like you said, it could be fatigue. It could be,
I think it's too much. There's too much coming out.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think Marvel's being stupid with their relaunches. There's too many #1s. Like
I think too is like we got to hold on to, like, at least what I'm doing is I'm holding on looking for later issues. You know what I'm saying? Like later issues that are 1 in 100s, and I'll spend $100. Like that Life of Captain Marvel 3 I bought. You know what I'm saying? Like how many people were buying hundreds of Life of Captain Marvel #3? Even though it was #3. I don't think that many people.
Well, another one. Stein brought up the Batman New 52 run. That RRP was the book for the longest time. I mean, I remember when CBSI kind of first started, that book was
which book?
The Batman New 52 #1, the black and white sketch variant.
Oh yeah,
and you can pick one of those up, a couple $100 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think 9.8s are going for about 500 right now.
Yeah, that was easy in like the close to $1,500 range, right?
I bought a 9.6 at the highest point. It was so upset.
I still like that Skyver one for Batman #1.
I almost
that one.
earlier.
I don't understand how that one is so low.
Yeah. I thought about busting out the Van Sciver Green Lantern Batman one as one of the variants because I think that's
is that #9?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
with the Batman on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's those 3 Batman books. There's the Green Lantern variant. There's the Yellow Lantern variant, the Batman Yellow Lantern variant, and then there's the Batman White Lantern, which isn't a variant, but it's a beautiful cover. In the back of it, it's got the preview of New 52 Batman, the Snyder Batman. So, I think those books are really slept on,
But I guess that's the point is, like, and I think maybe that's what I was trying to say, and I didn't say it well. But who is actually buying these?
Yeah.
Who is spending the money on it? The only people that I can think, I see all kinds of comments on my Hot 10 and stuff about how I hate variants. Stop putting variants on there.
Why don't you make 2 lists? Double.
Yeah.
Give me 2 lists.
Work,
right. But you see somebody is spending, hundreds of dollars. Who actually spent $1,000 on that Ghost Spider variant? I don't know. I don't know who was, but if if speculators are on it up front, I don't think it has a chance. I think it has to be ignored by speculators up front. If they are aware of it, it has no chance of being.
I have a good example for this, and this goes back to like the early days, like Superior Spider-Man 20. Mm-hmm. Nobody was on that book when it came. Like no, I don't think anybody was on it. But then 22, which was 2 months later, that book's barely worth anything because I think everybody was ready for that book.
Right.
I think 20 caught everyone off guard with that beautiful cover, and then 2 months later, Campbell comes out with another one. And that book's really not worth what you think it should be, because I think that's an amazing cover.
And like you said, how many people were collecting 20? You know, Suspirious. I mean, how many? I think we have short attention spans in general as a population. That's a side note, but it's like how many people are like trying to rock 20 as Superior Spider-Man unless you're really deep.
Dude, I went to 5 stores in my area and not one of them had it.
Yeah, I mean
22. I could have bought 22 from 3 different stores if I wanted it.
Mel's in the comments. He's saying, look, a Ghost Spider 1 and 198 still $900. I mean, it's crazy what comics are doing. You know, it's like, and Ghost Spider 1. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
it is what it is. I mean, that's a beautiful cover. It's probably rare. I mean, hey, you know what? I'm not going to spend that money on it, but good for you if you can.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Mel, especially for
Mel.
all of us that Spider Woman Alpha variant. Thank you for that, sir.
Yeah,
that is a beautiful variant.
All right, boys, let's it's 11:30. We're trying to keep them shorter.
Wait. One more thing. Everybody knows G Plus is going to be closing down real soon. CBSI is going to be focusing on the website and then also going on to MeWe. Is it MeWe or MyWay?
MeWe.
MeWe. Check it out. I mean, it's an app. It's basically Google Plus, but
on a different platform.
Yeah, different platform. I mean, I think we'll be safe there. I don't think it's going to close down at any time. And
also the Facebook, if you guys aren't on there,
Facebook and Instagram will still be going strong. Website will be going strong. So I mean, CBSI will have a presence wherever we can be.
Correct. So we're trying to do them shorter this week because we're doing weeklies instead of doing like 3 hour 2 weeks. We're trying to do like hour and a half. So, boys, great podcast. I'll see everybody next Monday.
Sweet.
Amen.
See you guys.
See ya.